Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Stem. I just wanted to take a moment of your time so that I can share my way in on the death of Mr. George Floyd, as well as what's happening right here in the United States and pretty much around the world, because I've just noticed that the whole world has joined in on, making sure that justice is served for the death of Mr. George Floyd. So I rarely speak out on politics and racism, but after the horrific events of what happened, with Mr. George Floyd when he lost his life in the hands of those people who were sworn in to protect and serve, I felt compelled to speak out and also talk about, this racism that has been going on in the United States and around the world for years and years. Black Lives Matter. The movement itself seems to be offending to a number of people, especially non-black individuals. So no black lives do not matter, or all lives matter seems to be the immediate, counter response to a demand for equality for black people. Well, there's also, I think, among many people, an adamant refusal to accept that black people deserve to be treated as equals, which is disturbing. As human beings, and not, that we live in this world as if we are animals. We are human beings. So it does matter. Why is this so? Because you know what? Never in the history has there been a group of people like the black people around the world that have been treated unfairly and not given a fair treatment or fair equal rights. So here in the United States right now, there's more outrage at making sure that black people are heard and changes are made. Again, it's something that if you're not black and you haven't experienced it, or you don't have relatives, ancestors that have experienced it, it is difficult to fathom. So for decades, it has become the norm for black people to be brutalized for doing nothing wrong, just because they're black. It's the norm for black people to be murdered in public, viewed by millions, as we have just seen with George Floyd. And then the police officers, I just learned that they get immunity for breaking the same rules and laws that they arrest us for. So to all my white friends that are out there, this is not a calling for, much, except your involvement, your support for equal rights and equal justice. This is a time for everyone to unite as one people, to step up and make the changes that are needed to create the opportunities and privileges like everybody else, so that everyone lives an equal life and not an oppressed life. So what can you do? I think the first thing that I can recommend is listen, look, and learn, and hear more of the real issues and the real pain underlying the riots. Evaluate your own biases about black people, how you openly or maybe subtly have your own biases. Companies need to look at the policies and procedures, the barriers that prevent black people from advancing or having a voice, safe place in the company to be heard. We definitely also need a leadership, especially in the United States, that is overall inclusive, that is there to also listen, change the systematic systems that we have. And yes, voting is one way of doing it. But change will happen one person, one family, one organization, and one world united. We have to unite and see ourselves as equal to ensure lasting change. The journey will be long and tedious, but the preservation of lives is never a waste of time and energy, I think. I will end this with a quote by Reverend Al Sharpton. He says, you can't get a solution if you won't talk to the people that have the problem. You can't you can't ever heal a patient if the patient is left out of the operation room. How powerful and poignant. This is Dr. Stem. Be encouraged.